Today I'm excited to get to share with you the newest version of Framebatch and get to showcase some of the features within our new studio page. So you'll notice that there are a lot of layouts here that you can scroll through, as well as some new sliders and buttons. We still have the old legacy dashboard, which works exactly how the older versions of Framebatch works. But on this studio page, we're hoping to eventually migrate fully over to this. And once I start getting into it, you'll see why. Previous versions of Framebatch required users to have access to Photoshop and an active subscription. This version doesn't require that at all. You can do all of your layouts fully within app and export fully within the app. We also have the option to export as a PSD, and I'll kind of showcase some of that as well. So why don't we get started? Why don't we add a few layouts here? And I like some of these that have gaps. You'll notice that some of the spacing is a little off. If you just kind of jiggle the gap slider, that usually snaps back into place. You can also hit default or zero margin for kind of a quick shortcut view. So once you've got some layouts added in, you'll just go down. You can either browse to a folder, or you can add it in if you've been working in a recent gallery. You can edit each individual photo. You can shuffle them by clicking the shuffle button. You can also shuffle every single layout just by clicking this global shuffle. If you like a layout and don't want to shuffle that, but want to shuffle everything else, you can lock it. And you can drag to reorder these any way you want. I really try to make this as intuitive as possible. So if you want to take this image and put it here, you just drag it. And it's as simple as that. You can click edit and you can use your scroll wheel or some gesture with two fingers to zoom in and pan around. I've got keyboard shortcuts like enter and escape that will let you confirm that, so you can kind of speed up your workflow even more. Let's see. I'm going to keep these the same and shuffle this just a few times. I actually like this one, so we'll keep that. Now when you're happy with how your layouts are looking, and you can keep adding them, and the photos will just keep populating those placeholders. But I think we'll just stick with these three for now. Let me readjust this one. Zoom in a little bit on that. Okay, so when you're ready, you can hit preview, and this will show you kind of an Instagram view of what your layouts will look like in a carousel, which is pretty cool to be able to preview that. If you decide, hey, I don't want a white background, you can just change it. So just to be obnoxious, we'll change it to this kind of deep red, and you can see what that'll look like. So I'm going to swap this back. I've also got different aspect ratios on here. If you want to do a 1:1, you can preview that as well. Everything adjusts based on whatever the aspect ratio is. And you can do the same with a 16:9. If you hit preview, it just shows you a preview of that. So let's bring it back. I'm actually going to show you this. So this is like more of a full screen phone view. And if you hit preview, it'll show you this kind of like Instagram stories vibe. So let me change the background. I'll change it to black. And you can kind of see how that would be laid out inside of your Instagram story. So let's reset this. Reset this. Okay, so now I'm to the point where I want to export. And we've got some export settings here. If you don't know what DPI is, it's just kind of a printing term. It'll be higher resolution, but for screen, you can stick with low or medium if you want it really crispy. You will deal with larger file sizes. So what I would recommend, if you want to post online, instead of JPEG, select PNG, just make sure that you have a background set. So in this case, I have a primary format set to JPEG and a secondary format set to PSD. And that's so that I can show you guys how this opens up in PSD form. So I'm just going to type something as simple as demo here and click export. And you'll see it happens pretty quick. And the JPEGs are right here that we can flip through. They're very high quality. And then the PSD shows a preview, and if I double click it to open it in Photoshop, you'll see that all of our layouts are exactly the same as they are inside of the Framebatch window. So if you want to do even more customization, add patterns, add elements, add text, you can start in Framebatch and then add more complexity in Photoshop. So my goal is always to give you as much flexibility as possible while also maintaining a simple interface that if you're just trying to get some layouts done, you could do that super quick. So let me walk you through. We have a preset library, and some of these are, just fun, different layouts that you might not think about. I think this is where Framebatch really shines on collages of, let's say, grids of 12 images, being able to just, let's remove these, being able to shuffle this and get brand new layouts and tweak so easily. I think this is where Framebatch can really save people time. And I've got these filters here that let you filter by a user created or a single image or just basic grid layouts. I'll probably continue to add more as segmented filters become more obvious and user feedback comes in. So I do want to show you the last thing on here, which is the custom Studio Custom Builder. And this lets you very quickly generate layouts. You can tweak the sliders. If you hold Command, you can tweak individual slider sections. And then what's really cool, I've got a shortcuts tab here, but if you hold Option on a Mac and you click, that will disable certain placeholders. And what that lets you do is create kind of these freeform shapes. So if I hit Use Layout, you'll see that these are just kind of floating now. And I think that gives a real depth of things that you can do. Like for instance, if I wanted to remove all of the sections out here, that would give me a freestanding grid inside. And it's still able to be adjusted with your gaps. So that's cool. And then inside of here as well, let's do a 3x3. You can hold Shift and click and drag and combine. And that gives you kind of a more unique grid layout as well. So honestly, the combinations of things that you can do and customize are pretty crazy in number. And I'm excited to see some of the things that our users create moving forward with this Studio Custom Builder. If you're in this modal and you're like, I don't have enough space, just hit the expand and that will give you more. And you can also do different aspect ratios to start with if you're working on different things. And as you save those, they will, let's just generate one real quick. Let's save it. Let's say demo layout. I hit save. That'll show up here and you can just very quickly click and add that in. So that's pretty much it for the new studio page within Framebatch. I'm excited to roll this out. This is currently live, so please check it out. Let me know your feedback, I'll see you next time.